Stop. Right now, as you listen to these words, I want you to notice something. How many things are you doing simultaneously? Are you checking your phone, thinking about your next meeting, planning tomorrow's tasks? Your mind is racing even as you try to focus on this single moment. Welcome to the era of chronic acceleration, where time has become our most merciless master. Byung-Chul Han identified this as one of the most devastating symptoms of our hyper-connected age. We have lost the natural rhythm of life and replaced it with the artificial tempo of machines. Think about the last time you truly did nothing. Not scrolled through social media, not listened to a podcast, not planned your day, but genuinely experienced emptiness, silence, boredom. Can't remember? You're not alone. We have become allergic to stillness, addicted to stimulation, terrified of our own thoughts. Han observed that modern society operates on what he calls temporal totalitarianism, a dictatorship of speed that colonizes every aspect of our existence. We don't just work faster, we eat faster, love faster, grieve faster, even rest faster. Everything must be optimized, accelerated, made more efficient. But here's what we've lost in this relentless pursuit of speed: the sacred pauses that give life meaning. Consider how you eat. When was the last time you sat at a table without your phone, tasted each bite, felt gratitude for the food before you? Now we consume meals like fuel stops, mechanical, rushed, unconscious. We've transformed one of humanity's most fundamental rituals into a productivity hack. Or think about conversation. Real conversation requires rhythm, the dance of speaking and listening, the comfortable silences, the time to process and respond thoughtfully. But we've replaced this with rapid-fire exchanges of information. We don't converse, we download data into each other's consciousness. Han warns us that this acceleration isn't just changing how we behave, it's rewiring our brains. We're losing the neurological capacity for deep attention, for sustained contemplation, for what he calls lingering. Our minds have become like hyperactive children, constantly seeking the next stimulus, the next notification, the next distraction. The tragedy is that we mistake this frenetic activity for vitality. We confuse being busy with being alive, productivity, with purpose, speed with progress. But Han reveals the cruel irony: the faster we go, the more we stand still. The more we accelerate, the more trapped we become in an endless cycle of urgency without meaning. Look at your calendar. Every minute is accounted for, every hour optimized. We schedule efficiency into our days like doctors prescribing medication. But when did our lives become problems to be solved rather than experiences to be savored? This temporal violence, yes, Han calls it violence, affects our relationships most profoundly. Love cannot be accelerated. Friendship cannot be optimized. Trust cannot be downloaded. These human connections require what our culture has abandoned: time, patience, presence, and the courage to be vulnerable in stillness. We've created a world where "I don't have time" has become our most common excuse for avoiding life itself. We don't have time for sunsets, for long walks, for deep conversations, for sitting with our sadness, for celebrating our joy. We've become tourists in our own existence, rushing through life with our cameras ready but our hearts closed. Han points to a deeper pathology. We've confused the rhythm of life with the rhythm of production. Life has seasons, periods of growth, and rest, expansion and contraction, activity and contemplation. But capitalism demands constant growth, perpetual motion, endless productivity. We've internalized this machine rhythm until we've forgotten what it means to be human. The most insidious aspect of this acceleration is that it masquerades as freedom. We're told that technology liberates us, that speed gives us more choices, that efficiency creates more opportunities. But Han exposes the lie. We've never been less free. We're slaves to the tyranny of the urgent, prisoners of perpetual motion. Notice how we've even accelerated our attempts at slowing down. We practice mindfulness for exactly 10 minutes between meetings. We do quick meditation apps. We schedule relaxation like business appointments. We've turned contemplation into another form of productivity. But true rhythm cannot be forced or scheduled. It emerges from deep listening to our bodies, our hearts, our natural cycles. It requires what our culture fears most: unproductive. At time, useless moments, the radical act of simply being without purpose. Han suggests that reclaiming life's rhythm begins with small acts of resistance. Eat one meal without distraction, walk without destination, sit in silence without agenda, have a conversation without checking the time. These aren't just lifestyle choices, they're revolutionary acts against temporal totalitarianism. The question isn't whether we can slow down, it's whether we can remember what we're rushing toward and ask ourselves if it's worth the price we're paying. Our presence, our peace, our connection to the sacred rhythms that make us human. Time will always move at the same speed. The choice is whether we move with it consciously or let it drag us unconsciously through a life we never actually lived. In a world obsessed with saving time, perhaps what we really need to save is the rhythm of being human.